Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Rick Rowell. All right, we're past Thanksgiving now. I got the Christmas lights outside and on and working, and everything looks great out there. Now we're going to put the train together. You remember that I got a whole bunch of village elements from some of my viewers this year, and it's time to get the train set up and get that all put into place, and we're going to do that today. And of course, these are all the village elements that I've received from my viewers in the past few months. Got a couple of cool downtown buildings, got a nice little boarding house here, my own Dairy Queen, and of course my water tower and the little shanty shack for the water pump. And I've had this kind of up for the last couple months on the mantle here, just so I can kind of, see everything together. And I actually brought the trains out and set up a little section of the track behind it, so you can kind of see everything to scale. But now we're going to take this and put all the tracks back together and put all the new stuff into it, get everything wired up and get it running again. So let's get going. So I've already put the extension on the table. I've begun unrolling the felt piece that was the snow for last year. I still got to clear off this part of the table, but like I did in the past, I'll leave some of this stuff up here because this is kind of where I put my phone charger and stuff like that. And I have a radio for work that I keep on the charger during the weekend. And obviously we got to get the little miniature people that I have here. I've been kind of experimenting with the little people because the little people don't stand up very well on their own. And I started thinking, you know what, if I put a little daub of from my hot glue gun onto a piece of foil and then push the person into the hot glue, then when it dries it'll have kind of a flat surface and the people will stand up. And I tried it with 3 different people. I actually made one of them work, and I think we'll probably end up using this technique for the rest of the people, or at least some of the people, so that I can make them stand up. Because like I said, they just don't have enough of a base on their feet that in most cases they'll stand up on their own, and they tend to fall over. So I need to build a little bit more of a base on them so they can stand up on their own. And like I said, this guy's working pretty well, so I think we'll try and repeat the technique and see if we can make some of the rest of them stand up. And of course I made a little trip over to the storage locker to pick up the stuff I'm going to need. Basically most of what I needed was the spare tracks, and the Christmas buildings from last year are in one of these boxes. I'll have to dig them out, and we're going to get all that put together and make this look real nice again. Let's get going. All right, so I got the track basically laid out now, and it's basically where everything needs to be. I got to remember that when I modified this thing after Christmas last year, you remember I had this thing up until probably about April, and I had a lot of problem making the switch tracks work, and that did eventually get straightened out. But when I did do that, I didn't actually have the felt down anymore. So I'm gonna have to punch a few more holes in the felt in order to get everything to be hidden underneath the felt, because I had it all set up where the main power for the train came over to here and came up through this hole here, and we powered the track right here. I had the holes in there for the lights for all the different buildings that were here at the time. But like I said, the switch tracks and the wires for them were made to work after the felt was removed. So like I said, I'm going to have to poke a little hole in the felt right there, poke a little hole in the felt right there, so I could run that underneath the felt and kind of keep it out of view. I'm also going to probably, there's like a little bit of a gap here somewhere right there. I can feel it right there. And then there's another gap here, so that when I run there's another gap like right about here, so that when I run the wire from this underneath the felt, it can go through the table and have everything controlled under there. I'm also going to have to cut a couple holes here, because this is where the switcher is. And so I'm going to have maybe a couple little holes like here, because I'm going to have to have wire coming through here and a wire coming through here to power the switcher. And I also did move the power supply for the train over here, but this was, there's actually holes there for that. So that's not going to be a terribly difficult thing to do. But like I said, I'm going to have to do a little bit of modification. This was the power supply, or the remote control for turning stuff on, so I didn't have to get underneath it. I got to find the actual remote control itself for that. That may be still in the box, or maybe in one of these baggies somewhere. But I'm going to start putting all this stuff together. That's the power supply right there that controls the switch tracks and the external stuff, because I can't power that off of this supply. So like I said, I got a little bit of figuring out to do. There's the remote for that thing. Okay, so that's good. This allows me to turn the whole system on without having to crawl underneath the table, and that's kind of a neat little feature. And then I also, you may recall, let's see, where is it? I don't know, maybe I don't have it up on top of the table yet, but I also had a little fader switch thing that allowed me to, oh, it's over here, I think. Well, it's somewhere. I had a little fader switch that allowed me to control the amount of lights going to the little buildings here, so they didn't overheat. So I'm going to get that stuff all installed and hooked up and hopefully working, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. Alright, so I got the basic train system working. The lights are all on. You can see they got the lights in the little buildings, and the train's operating. The switch tracks are all working. Now it's time to add the new elements that my viewers have gotten me this year. Also looks like I got to do a little eraser work on the tracks. Sometimes over time the tracks get a little bit of buildup on them, and at that point you kind of reduce the amount of power getting through the track, because it's creating resistance in the system. So I got this funky little eraser thing that you can run over the part of the track where things are slowing down a little bit. And you can see a little bit of slowing down kind of when you get back to this area here. There's also a place there, a little place there. But you see the train kind of stalls a little bit in some of these areas. I just got to go over that with a little eraser, this little thing here, and that kind of pulls the buildup that builds up on the tracks off, and makes that work a little better. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to also put the new village elements out and kind of get these trees arranged a little bit, because that's all kind of part of the thing too. And I'll catch up with you in a little bit. So I've added the new village elements I've gotten from my viewers. We have Annie's boarding house over here. I put that in with all the houses and stuff like that. I'm going to turn this into kind of the downtown area. So I got the corner store and the saloon and the Dairy Queen down here. And of course, back here by the switch tracks, we have the water tower that we just put together a few days ago. And that looks really cool there. I think that's a great place for that. And that's going to be the new place for that, so that we can load up our steam engine when it comes around and make sure it keeps going here. Apparently, according to legend, these things, you'd have one of these water towers every about 20 miles, because that's about how long it would take to drain the boiler of all the water, and you have to recharge after every about 20 miles. So we'll just pretend that it's 20 miles the once around on the track. It probably was a little less than that, but the village looks really great. I want to thank all the people who contributed the village elements. I'm going to still put the park benches out. They'll probably be put back here. This will be a great place for a park, and we'll have some people in there. We're going to try and make it so that the little individual people will stand up. So I'll probably create some bases for them, so they'll stand up. Hopefully they'll stand up on this slightly uneven surface of the felt, but if not, we'll just have to make a little bigger of a base. But I think this looks really great. Like I said, I want to thank all the people who contributed, and I think that's all that I have for today. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.